Say that you were physically, emotionally abusive to him?
I've never been abusive to him. Never have.
But did he say that? Did he ever say that, to your knowledge?
I knew something terrible would happen at the end, not to mention the fact that Michael constantly told me, Latoya, if I die, they're going to murder me, they're going to kill me. He would tell me that, Barbara, and that's when...
Much like Michael's nose, the nose on the Egyptian statue is starting to disappear. Now, if you're thinking Jackson modeled himself after the statue, think again. It hasn't been on display for about 100 years, and that makes this even...
Part of this, and people like Michael Jackson. I watched Michael Jackson be abused as a child.
Welcome to the sacrificed.
Here at the BET Awards, Joe Jackson makes his first public appearance since the death of his son, Michael Jackson. He and a slew of other celebrities are mourning the loss of the king of pop.
Loss, but at the same time, it's a very loving family, and the children are under great care with Grandma, Mrs. Catherine Jackson.
We've been close ever since, and they love being there with us.
She's on her way. I mean, the natural instinct taught us how to cultivate it. He'd sit there every day. It's like after school, we come from school and we rehearse. And he'd sit in a chair like this, usually with a belt in his hand or a switch.
Just let me go back. You just said that you would practice the dance steps and your father would be holding a belt in his hand. Is that what you just said?
Yes. And he would tear you up if you missed. And so we, not only were we practicing, we were nervous rehearsing because he sat in the chair and he had this bell in his hand. And if you didn't do it, beat you with, with hard. He would make you strip nude first. He would oil you down. Your whole ritual, he would oil you down. So when the flip of the ironing cord hit you, it would just, and it was just like me dying. And your foot's all over your face, your back, everywhere. And I always hear my mother, no, Joe, you're gonna kill him, no. I would just give up. There was nothing I could do. I hated him for it. Hated him.
Michael's on record as saying that you beat him with switches and belts.
I never beat him. I whipped him with a switch and a belt. I never beat him. You beat somebody with a stick.
Would he only use a belt?
Boards, whatever's around. Throw you up against the wall hard as he could. I knew something was wrong with me, and it was at that time. That I needed someone. That's probably why I had the mannequins, I would say, because I felt I needed people, someone, and I was too shy to be around real people. So I didn't talk to them. It wasn't like old ladies talking to plants. I always thought about, why do I have these? I love them. It's like real babies and kids and people, but it makes me feel like I'm in a room with people. And he'd look in the audience, he'd make a face like this. He'd go, I can't mess up, he's gonna kill us. It would just scare the bejesus out of you.
Michael's father may have been a slave to the steel mill, but at 2300 Jackson Street, he ruled with an iron fist.
When I was a young reporter covering the Jacksons, I can tell you that Joseph Jackson was this fearsome character that you really didn't want to cross, and you kind of didn't even want to be in the same room with him because he was so intimidating.
Anytime I was around the Jacksons, I was struck by the fact that they called their father by his name. They called him Joe.
You know, sometimes they called him Papa Joe.
He would stand out front with his arms folded, get off our lawn, and we'd scoot around the corner. And to this day, I think there's a permanent groove in that yard because of all the generations of children since they moved who have just cut the corner.
If his father Joe was a tyrant, Michael's mother Kate seemed like a saint.
Mrs. Jackson was a very gentle woman. I never saw her lose her temper. I never saw her raise her voice.
Michael was always closer to his mother than his father, partly out of wanting her protection from him.
Carol Lieberman was the first psychiatrist to file a formal child abuse complaint against Michael Jackson.
I think that he just wanted to grow up to be someone who was softer like that, as opposed to his father, who represented this tyrant.
In 1965, Katherine Jackson became a devout Jehovah's Witness, a Christian sect with strict rules against sin and a ban on childhood celebrations.
Jehovah's Witnesses are prohibited from celebrating birthdays. They are prohibited from Christmas, Halloween, even Mother's Day, Father's Day, or anything associated even with Easter if it's outside the actual commemoration of Christ's death.
At the age of 7, a wide-eyed Mike was indoctrinated into the Witnesses' world. He learned to fear the wrath of Jehovah, especially when it came to sex.
Sex outside the marriage is absolutely forbidden. That is a disfellowshipping offense. Disfellowshipped in Jehovah's Witness terminology is death. That means when Armageddon comes, you will be destroyed by God. And you're dead to everyone else in the Jehovah's Witness community, including your family and everyone that you've known.
Every time I create a positive thought in my mind, also I create a negative thought. It's just like, I'm going to be very successful. And my mind said, oh, no, you're not, you know? Okay? So since I create positive and negative, it's which one I give the most attention that is powerful. When I think positive constantly, it's very powerful and it controls me. If I think negative all the time, it's going to control me too. So right now, my positive thought is there is going to be no disaster to destroy what I have planned for me and my family.
There was some strange shit going on between Diana Ross and Michael Jackson. I mean, really strange. The kind of strange that made me question, what did Mike really mean when he called Diana dirty? And if you think I'm implying what I'm not explicitly stating, you're right. And today I wanted to bring it to your attention, if you haven't already heard about this shit. Now, mind you, this is a woman who met Michael Jackson when he was just 9 years old, and she would have been 23 at the time. So what their relationship eventually grew to be is just strange. But because she's Diana Ross and he's Michael Jackson, this just completely flew right under the radar. Now, we all know double standards exist, but let's just keep it a sieg. Y'all know damn well if the shoe was on the other foot and it was Michael, who was 14 years her senior and knew her since she was a 9-year-old little girl, y'all would have had a fit. And nobody would have a hard time labeling him a groomer.
Like him. Now, you know, Michael and I, we're in love and there's nothing to do about it, there's nothing to say. So,
Now, over the years, people speculated that because Diana Ross was the woman that took Michael Jackson's virginity, this is why he developed an obsession for her. Whether it was in his music or in his books or in his interviews, it was clear that Michael Jackson just couldn't get enough of Diana Ross. And to be fair, she fawned over him in her interviews as well. But because she was an older woman, she wasn't as careless and forthcoming about their relationship as Michael had been. So while Mike is going Diana, Diana, Diana in all his interviews, because she's older, she knows how to keep some level of decorum and mystery with regards to their relationship. Like this interview, she talked about it, she addressed it, but there was still some level of ambiguity. I mean, this interview could have easily been chalked up to her being facetious when she said she was in love with a boy that she met when he was 9. A little boy who she took in and became a surrogate mother to. But fuck that for right now. We'll get into this more in another part. Diana Ross got married to some Norwegian businessman in 1986, and Michael Jackson hated it. He was rumored to have been deeply jealous. As far as he was concerned, Diana was always going to be the lady in his life. That is until Mike got closer to Elizabeth Taylor in the mid to late 80s. Shit, he even bailed on a dinner date with Diana Ross just to be with Elizabeth Taylor. Diana hit him up, Elizabeth hit him up, and Mike tried to be funny and combine the two dates, but Diana wasn't having that shit. So here we are. It's 1986 at the Video Music Awards, and Diana Ross and Sidney Poitier present Michael Jackson with an award. Now, I want you all to pay attention to how Michael Jackson looks at Diana Ross and Lionel Richie when Diana Ross goes to embrace Lionel Richie. Now, of course, the pettiness didn't end there.
Michael always does right. Is he?
No, not all the time. You know, Michael, he likes to lead. You know, he's the lead singer. The way we discipline Michael is sort of like cut down on his allowance a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't give him this much money to spend.
Joe, do you have any at all bad feelings about the way Michael was raised? I know you're denying the stories about violence, but as you look at it, were there any mistakes you made?
I didn't make no mistakes, Larry, because Michael was raised properly. He didn't run the streets like most of those other kids that was in his neighborhood. Michael
why did he say that you
listen now, you got to understand me. Don't cut me off here, Larry. Michael had claims that he had a dull life. Michael never had he had his own brothers and sisters to play with, and that was the other. But most of those kids that was Michael's age during that time, they're not living now. So you know.
So when he didn't he once say that you were physically, emotionally abusive to him?
I've never been abusive to him. Never have.
But did he say that? Did he ever say that, to your knowledge?
Well, I don't know whether he said that or not, but I hear the media keep hollering about abusing him. I never abused my son.
Larry, can I say something, Joe? Larry, do you
wait, Ro, let me handle this right here. Okay. Let me handle this. The media keep hollering about saying that I beat my son. That's not true. You know where this beating started? Beating started in the slavery days. They used to beat the slaves, and then they used to torture them. That's where this beating started, at these slave masters. And that's where that come from. But, hey, there's a lot of people in America, Larry. A lot of people in America spank the kids, you know. If they say they don't, they're lying. They're lying. And Michael was never beaten by me, never beat.
I knew something terrible would happen at the end, not to mention the fact that Michael constantly told me, Latoya, if I die, they're going to murder me, they're going to kill me.
That Michael constantly told me, Latoya, if I die, they're going to murder me, they're going to kill me.
He would tell me that, Barbara, and that's when Michael passed. When I found out he had actually passed, I said, no, it wasn't an accident. He was murdered.
Your brother was murdered.
I always believed that from day one. I said, I'm not going to accept anything else, Barbara. They could have told me a heart attack. They could have told me he had fallen off a ladder, and I would have said, no, it's not a heart attack. He was murdered.
Big mystery brewing here. Where is Michael Jackson's body? No one can seem to know, but we do know where his brain is. This is the last time we saw Michael Jackson's casket at the Staples Center Tuesday. From there, destination unknown. But now we've confirmed the LA County Coroner's Office has Jackson's brain, at least a part of it. Investigators are analyzing his brain tissue. It's uncommon, but could help determine what killed him.
They'll be looking to see whether there is any evidence of prior brain damage, whether from drugs or trauma or post-viral infection.
On his official death certificate, Latoya Jackson provides all the information. Cause of death, deferred. She lists Forest Lawn Cemetery as a temporary location. That doesn't mean he'll be laid to rest there. To be buried at Neverland, the family would have to apply for special permits. NBC News has learned they haven't yet. But as Jermaine Jackson told Matt, Neverland would be the ideal resting place.
This is his home. He created this. Why wouldn't he be here? I feel his presence.
It remains unclear where he'll be buried or when. The enigma that was Michael Jackson continues even in death.
Michael's life was a great story, but ultimately also a great tragedy. And if you knew him, you know it was full of agony and ecstasy.
Come over and talk to us. Which is exactly why investigators are digging in. Did Jackson's doctors prescribe pills for cash? And did those pills kill him? I spoke with Los Angeles Police Chief William Bratton.
We're certainly interviewing doctors, we're certainly interviewing friends, certainly trying to get an understanding of what role drugs may have played in the life of Mr. Jackson.
Are you confident there will be criminal charges in this case?
No, not at all.
As detectives probe Jackson's final days, racking up officer overtime, the city of Los Angeles is on the hook for more than $1 million, providing security and other services at the memorial. There's outrage that the city had to pay the bill at all. More than 10,000 Jackson fans have logged into the city's website to donate money. Officials say that's not good enough. They want all of it back.
It would be wonderful if the Jackson family would consider assisting the city in defraying some of the costs of this. It would also be tremendous if AEG would help us in defraying the costs on this.
And it's not over yet. There's still the high-profile battle over Jackson's estate. And, of course, the kids.
And I just wanted to say I love him so much.
Megastars by default.
Music goes further than a trip to the record shop for his latest album.
He's always a face with everything, and he never stays. His music never stays the same. It changes before everybody else's does.
That's nice. He's a good dancer, good singer and everything.
He's an excellent singer, excellent dancer, and I love him.
It's the 7th year the British arm of the Michael Jackson fan club have organised an annual get-together for fans. And here at London's Le Palais, the club have put on a day's worth of tributes, from covers of his songs to a star appearance by Jackson's official body double, flown over from America especially for the event.
I think because he's one of the most innovative artists that's come along in a long, long time. He has sustained his popularity through the late 60s, 70s, 80s, and now through the 90s. A lot of artists have, one-hit wonders have come and gone. He's still there,
And if your mere appearance causes riots, you need the best security money can buy.
If Michael Jackson steps 1 foot out of his house, he has a massive team of bodyguards with him.
He spends more money on security than other rock stars. I mean, there's no question about that.
Try hundreds of thousands of dollars a week. When MJ travels, he's flanked by 20 bodyguards at all times. He employs a fleet of decoy limousines to keep the press off his trail, and when he really wants to go stealth, he deploys this man.
I've had surgery
to look more like Michael. I see it as an investment in what I do because it's become my full-time job.
Navi is Jackson's body double. His only job? Make people think he's Michael Jackson, while the real MJ gets away scot-free.
Jackson is so global. It's exciting. I've had a phone call by about 2 o'clock, and next thing you know, by 6 o'clock, I'm catching a flight to Japan.
Watch as Japanese fans swarm Navi's limo, convinced he's the real deal.
There was thousands, and they just started jumping over, and they had to call more police. So it is frightening at times.
It's out of control. Travels in style.
I truly feel that Conrad Murray is simply the fall guy. This was definitely something that was premeditated, that they had planned to do, and they planned to take my brother out, and my brother knew it, and that's why he told me repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly that this was going to happen to him. He explained it to me. He explained it's because of my catalog, which is my publishing, and they're after it, and they want it, and they want their hands on it, and they want to take it away from me. So Michael developed this love-hate relationship with his catalog. I don't want it because it's going to destroy my life. No, it's mine. I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to let them rip it apart and take it from me. This went back and forth. I began to see his personality change. Michael had notes in his house saying how he hates John Branca, he hates Randy Phillips, he doesn't want them around, he'll never fly with them. He just went on and on expressing how he felt about these people. These people were all involved. Mind you, the will, I truly believe and I know that the will is fake. Because Michael was in New York when the will was signed, and they say he signed it in LA, and he did not. And they know this. But yet they put themselves as the executors on this estate. There was another guy that was in the will, Barry Siegel, but he pleasantly removed himself from it. Why would he do that? Because he knew that it was fake and he wasn't going to get involved in the skullduggery. That's why.
In alphabetical order. Huh? Turn first page, see the A's, then the B's, then the C's? How many pages is that?
22 pages.
This is a 22-page document of all the acts he owned in alphabetical order. And what do the headlines say? Michael owned 50% of Sony. Huh? That old Beatles stuff, that's chump change. What's that headline say?
List of Sony/ATV music publishing artists.
Read the first sentence.
Sony/AT Music Publishing is a music publishing company co-owned by the estate of Michael Jackson and Sony.
Michael owns 50% of all country western music. He owns 63% of Dolly Parton. Huh? He owns 50% of Charlie Pride. He owns 50% of Bob Dylan. Huh? He owns 50% Moon River. 50% of that song's his. Huh? You see, look, just read him some of the names in it. He owns Babyface. Who is that there?
Beyonce Knowles.
Huh? M&M's. Huh? And it goes on and on and on. You see any others there you recognize?
Boys to Men, Bon Jovi, Brenda Lee, Brian Harvey, Brian West, Brick and Lace, Bright Eyes, Brooks and Dunn.
And it goes on and on and on. That's just the bees. And if all this was sold today, the estate would probably get between $40 and $50 billion. The estate would probably get between $40 and $50 billion.
What money? What about money? He didn't have no childhood.
See, y'all always be trying to talk about shit you don't know. He didn't have a fucking childhood, huh? All right? He had all the money he wanted, all the fame he wanted, huh? But he never bounced the ball, huh? So y'all gonna sit there and talk about somebody you ain't never talked to him, huh? Michael Jackson, huh? A child. His mind was a child. Became one of the most powerful human beings in the world, and they killed him. And when they killed him, just simple mathematics. He's getting ready to do the big show in London 50 times. God can't work one city 50 times. What made you think he could? And that childness in him, it never dawned on him. So he's insured. This is your show. So the insurance is on you, not the rest of the people. So they had him insured for $1.5 billion. That's what it's about.
Well, I thought it was because of the Sony thing. They wanted I believe there was some.
But that's because you don't have the information.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
I said he was killed by a laser. Huh? I just told you it was a bloody shirt and the money. Just public. All you gotta do is go look it up. Huh? I didn't come here to find out what you think.
No, I'm just asking.
No, you didn't. You said you thought. I'm not interviewing you. You interviewing me. I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
Huh? But you go do it. I respect who you gonna be. So don't sit here and tell me you thought it was the Sony thing. Huh? Okay. What was the Sony thing about? Tell my grandmother.
Well, my understanding was that he was gonna get the Beatles catalog.
He already had it. Huh?
Okay.
He bought the Beatles catalog when his people told him don't buy it. He bought it for $48 million. When they killed him, it was worth $2.5 billion. Huh?
I look at your grandchildren and to see how they're just so well adjusted, they're kids, caring children.
They're good kids.
In here, there are just 3 children playing among the other kids, having ice cream, making waffles,
B5,
playing games. The late King of Pop's children are here on behalf of the Heal the World Foundation.
On behalf of Vintage Pop and Heal the World Foundation, we present you with a check for $10,000.
As the kids mingled, I had a chance to chat with their grandmother, Katherine Jackson, their legal guardian since her son passed away.
This is the first time they ever had regular schooling. They have always had homeschooling.
And they seem to be really adjusting to it well.
They love it. You don't even have to make them get up. They just get up, they're ready for school.
It's one thing to hear that the children are doing well, but to see it with the veils gone with my own eyes was pretty remarkable. These are really normal kids, complete with iPods and yellow nail polish and beloved action figures. And Grandma is, well, just a regular grandma too.
Sit up straight. I want them to sit up.
How are you doing?
We're doing just fine. So they're almost 2 years, and the children are coming along just fine.
Is there a time of the day that becomes more difficult?
There's not an hour of day that doesn't go by that I don't think about my son. It's just, that's hard.
Do you think of him especially in occasions like this with children and how much he wanted to help them?
He's always wanted to help them since he was a little child. He just loved children, and Michael had a very good heart. People misunderstood him. All the lies that were told him, the way he suffered from what these people had done to him, these wicked people. I get upset when I think about it. Through all of that, he still kept his composure, and he wasn't angry inside, but he still tried to help children.
Last time you saw Michael was around your birthday.
2 days before my birthday.
Did you tell him you loved him?
Yeah, it was the last thing we said to one another.
It was?
Yeah. He said, I love you. He says, I love you too, Dunk.
You wrote, I can't describe our pain in losing our brother, or the pain of his children in losing their father, or the pain of my parents in losing their son. I still have not seen the film This Is It. I still can't watch any of his videos, listen to his music. I'm certain that one day I'll again be able to enjoy the miraculous sound of his voice and the marvelous sight of his dancing, but that day has not yet arrived. The mourning continues. Where are you in that process, Janet, at this point?
Actually, since I finally was able to, I was in Paris, and it was one of those moments. At some point, you have to move on, and trying to do that, and it being really difficult. And there's still not a day that goes by where I don't think about him. Not one day, not one day. And kind of pushing myself, forcing myself to a certain degree to get over this, because it's not the healthiest.
It can be debilitating, I'm sure, emotionally.
Yes, very much so. And I just spent the night just watching all his videos, listening to his music. And there were moments when I felt to cry, and moments that made me laugh. And it was good for me. I needed it.
Happening today. Henry's strategy that I heard him talk about with Nelson Rockefeller was about hiding this all out in the open. And they talked about how the bigger secrets were protected by their incredulity. And certainly all of this does sound pretty incredulous. And the themes of movies and television and news, radios, newspaper songs have often been strategized and cooked up with not only things to make you think a certain way and feel a certain way about certain people, but also to keep people that are programmed under mind control programming. I was used in Las Vegas when I was a teenager with Elvis Presley, and I watched in horror as this man would throw up after he had been programmed. And I watched him cry and ask, "What's wrong with me?" and not be able to have sex because he was so sick from what they were doing to him. And I had been sent in to have sex and deliver messages to him, to deliver to them, the programmed audience. And through my experience, I know that people like Elvis Presley are programmed, that people like Neil Diamond are all part of this, and people like Michael Jackson. I watched Michael Jackson be abused as a child. So as all of us together that have been through this identify the people that are in positions who are programmed, we have the fuller, bigger picture, and we will be able to stop.
You didn't know when they came out with the will, his 3 children's name was misspelled. Huh?
So
the day he was supposed to have signed it.
So it's a fake will.
It's a fake will. Huh? That's what I'm saying. Okay? That's all. And so if I was over there and they said, well, what role did Sony play? Oh, you didn't say that. I thought I'm not here because of what you think. Huh?
Okay.
Did Sony have anything? Huh? That's...
Okay, I'll ask better.
No, you don't have to ask that. I don't care.
No, I'll phrase better with the...
No, I'm saying it's already, you already said it.
Okay.
Huh? And you ain't gonna stop that overnight. And I don't want you to stop it overnight. Huh? There's people listening to me that's cleansed when you said what you said. Huh? Because we know. Huh? I told Michael. I got to his house, man. His father called me and said, Michael need to see you. Michael couldn't go up, his dad and mom couldn't go up to the top floor. Huh? So when they sit there and said, when I carried the food up to him, I saw these little boys. Michael knew. Everybody knew him. Couldn't nobody go up to the 3rd floor. Huh? So I go and Orange County, father come back and say, Michael wants you to sit in my seat. I go. So now the trial's over that day. We go home. He holds me, feel like an animal, clawing me. Greg, they're trying to kill me. They're trying to kill you, I know. I know. When the last time he ate, he said, poison me. When the last time he drank some water, I said, okay, here's the problem we got. I got to slip you out of here today and take you to the hospital. No, they'll kill. Michael, am I smarter than you? Shut up. What we'll do is get a driver and we're going to San Francisco to see a friend. What he didn't know is once we got out the house, when you saw that H for hospital, that's where I was going. I didn't know where. Nobody know we coming. So we go there. 5 o'clock that evening. Michael Jackson. Dehydrated. 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock the next morning, they still putting water in him. The doctor said, thank God for you, because he'd have been dead.
That he gave himself the drug in order to help him sleep, that he gave it to himself, that Dr. Murray did not give it to him. And what do you think about the defense's case?
Okay, first of all, that's not true. And I've spoken to several different doctors. You cannot inject yourself with propofol like that alone. The minute you put it in, it goes into your system, you fall asleep immediately. And doctors will tell you, and then you wake up after that. So somebody had to be standing there administering this to him.
You mean the minute it goes in, you fall asleep, and then you wake up immediately afterwards?
No, not immediately. Within 9 minutes or so, unless they're continuously doing it, or something of that nature.
So he would not be able to overdose then?
He would not be able to overdose had he done this himself. And I knew that that would be a subject. I knew it would come back because I was over Michael's body and handling everything, all the situations. And when they came back to say they wanted palm prints and things that they had already gotten, and the way and the angles that they were doing everything, I said, I find this to be quite interesting. What you must also keep in mind is that when Michael first passed, right after that, the following morning, I was told, the coroner came and he said that whoever did this intentionally. Michael had enough propofol in him, he said, to kill an elephant.
Wow.
Now, mind you, propofol, it just leaves your body immediately. With Michael, it didn't because he had a kidney and liver problem. So that made it stay into his system.
But you don't think it was Dr. Murray who did it?
Well, I think there was a conspiracy, right? Absolutely, Elizabeth. It was a conspiracy, and a lot of people were involved in this, and they know who they are. And they're very afraid of what I might say, of what my brother has told me.
Was he used in your mind, Dr. Murray I'm speaking of, as the sort of hitman in terms of this conspiracy?
I think, honestly, in my total belief is that Dr. Murray was just the fall guy simply because he knew what was going on. But I don't know to what extent. and I can't say. I wasn't there when my brother was murdered.
But doesn't it boil down to who actually administered the propofol?
Exactly. Well, who actually injected it into him completely?
That would be the person who would be tried.
Somebody was in Michael's house outside of that doctor during that time. Now that I do know, and I know who that person was that was in his house. Now whether that person did that or not, that I don't know.
But if you're saying that Dr. Murray is just the fall guy, and that there are people, you know, way bigger than him that was behind this, what do you want to see happen to Dr. Murray?
Well, first of all, let's look at it this way. If Dr. Murray, let's think about something. Now, if you're hiring an artist to sing for you and go out and perform, and you hire a doctor as well, the first thing you tell that doctor, if he asks for an aspirin, don't you give it to him until you consult us. That's the first thing. Why would you let a doctor be in there knowing that he's doing this and allow that to happen?
Chemicals I can put in, that's where the needle holes came from. Huh? That's how clever they are. The folks that's doing it don't know it. They're just trying to bring them out. Got needle in there. Sure, they got needle holes. But that's where they came from. Huh? That's where they came from. Okay? And the old punk doctor, he know nothing about it. When he's on the 911, they say, what's the address? I don't know. You know the address. Huh? This is a game. The most powerful human being on the planet, entertainer. Huh? They say he ain't lost his license. He's still practicing that.
There's an eerie site in Chicago's Field Museum, an ancient Egyptian bust that's a dead ringer for Michael Jackson. If you're not watching television, turn and look at this. Here's a side-by-side look of the two. The bust is actually of a woman, and it's about 3,000 years old. Much like Michael's nose, the nose on the Egyptian statue is starting to disappear. Now, if you're thinking Jackson modeled himself after the statue, think again. It hasn't been on display for about 100 years. And that makes this even more ironic.
It hasn't been on display for about 100 years. And that makes this even more ironic.
In 1993, Jackson did a video for the song Remember the Time, which is set in ancient Egypt.
In 1993, Jackson did a video for the song Remember the Time, which is set in ancient Egypt. Which is set in ancient Egypt.
You're looking at the doors, and you can see the locks on the doors. Miko, privacy was key in this room, obviously.
Yeah, he liked his privacy. When the doors were open, you know, it was okay, but when he locked, he wanted his privacy. He had his privacy.
This is one of the bathrooms. There are 2 bathrooms in this suite, and this is the area where Michael Jackson also slept sometimes.
It was okay, but when he locked, he wanted his privacy. He had his privacy.
This is one of the bathrooms. There are 2 bathrooms in this suite.